I have a special guest here today with me, Zinetta Baker, we're going to be talking about mental health today. You know, it's so many family out there that have family member mental health in their home, and they do not know, they don't know what the signs, what to look for. But here in Keeping It Real with Dr. Solomon today, we're going to be talking about the signs that you need to look for, and um, and there's help out there. There are many a resource out there for people that have um, family with mental health. I remember a couple months ago, last year, 2019, my nephew in Atlanta, Georgia, was just driving, and they say just stop the car and just start running. So, you know, one of the things that my sister do as a nurse, she could seek him some help, and he's doing great today. Mental health could come from many different forms of way. You could be going through something and, you know, angry. You keep it in, don't talk about it, and it just messed your mind up. So we're here today and Keeping It Real with Dr. Salman and my special guest to talk about that. She's the expertise, and she'll maybe share with you many phone numbers where you could call and you could get some help. And again, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Yeah, I have a special guest here today with me on my show, Miss Baker, who's an RN, who today we're going to be speaking about mental health. So welcome, Miss Baker, to Keeping It Real. I'm your host, Dr. Solomon. Hey, Miss Baker, how you doing on today?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You look wonderful.
Thank
you look
you.
amazing. So how was your Valentine's?
My Valentine's was spent working.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Just amazing. You know what? For me, every day is Valentine's. I see so many people today. They just spend a lot of money, and it's okay. But for me, I like my flowers every day, and I'm not saying I get it every day, but
Right.
I love to get my flowers. I love to get candy. So for me, I was busy preparing for a channel that I have at my church. You're part of my ministry,
Yes. Yes.
the Chef Showdown.
Showdown.
It was amazing. I enjoyed so much. All my food was gone. I cooked curry chicken, potato salad, and greens, and
Sounds
it was
good.
all gone. But it was amazing. We have a great time, and it was wonderful. I have a wonderful time. So this is what I mostly I stay home on Valentine's and just enjoy the time with my husband. But I did get some beautiful roses, and he
that's
helped me
beautiful.
cook for the showdown because
Wonderful.
I hurt my leg. So,
Oh.
but otherwise, from that, we're here today. We're going to be talking to our viewers about mental health.
Okay.
And of course, you are the expertise. And because for me, I know mental health is something that we need to talk about.
Yes.
A lot of people do not talk about it.
Right.
It's meant in maybe I would say maybe 80% of them have somebody that's suffering with mental health.
Correct.
And sometimes I remember back in Jamaica, when I was coming up, they would say the people back in Jamaica that they call them, they say they're mad. You know, they see people walking in the street talking, they call them a mad person because they don't understand about mental health. And it's so important that today we have so many resources and so many people now are talking about it.
Right.
And one of the reasons for me, I believe that I want to talk about it because I know even my family, my nephew was driving in Atlanta, 285. He stopped the car, and he just ran out the car. And somebody got to see him and call the police, got him. Unfortunately, my sister put him into a place and tried to get him some help.
Okay.
He's doing wonderful today, but people don't understand something could just trigger you.
Right.
Something that happened to you in your past.
Right.
Bam, right there. So go ahead, Ms. Baker, and tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what, you know, some information about mental health, because it's
Okay.
important.
Well, my name is Zinetta Baker. I am a registered nurse of 20 years. I do have psychiatric nursing experience, and I am also a certified pastoral counselor. I do have a master's degree in counseling, as well as a certification in pastoral counseling, as well as a certification in mental health first aid, where I'm able to treat those who are dealing with depression, anxiety, psychosis, which is an altered reality, substance abuse disorders, and be able to guide them towards the help that they need to help them with their mental health. And as Dr. Rose has stated, someone in the family is usually one person in the family is suffering with some type of mental health. It can be as mild as depression, which we are all familiar with, and which is the number one mental health disorder that is diagnosed among all genders, male and female. Children, unfortunately, now are being diagnosed with depression, as well as the elderly. So mental health is not an unknown disorder. It has been around for years. It is becoming more known now because, as we see in today's time with the young people that are shooting up schools.
Yes, I agree.
That in itself just tells that mental health, depression, it's always been there, but we have not been, I would say, wise enough to recognize the signs. Or we see the signs, we don't know what to do, we don't know who to direct them to, or even how to help them to be, and for us to recognize the signs. Number one, as Dr. Rose has also said.
And I want to cut in. What are some of the signs?
Exactly.
What are some of the signs that, because you're right, there are so many families out there that are suffering in their home with this disease and they don't know. What are some of the signs that you could tell America to look for?
Some of the signs, and they're subtle. Sadness, that's a sign, okay? And it's more than just I'm sad that something has happened, or I'm sad I lost something, whatever it might be. It's a prolonged sadness to the point where they're not eating, they're sleeping longer than normal, or not sleeping at all. That's insomnia. They are indulging in food, like eating and eating and eating and no control, or not eating at all. Losing interest in activities that they once liked to do, and then just suddenly just stop. They don't want to do it anymore.
What about outbursts? If a person just get mad for everything,
that is another sign.
The least of the thing they trigger.
Right. That is another sign. So it's emotional. So the sadness, there's anger. We see that predominantly in males. They tend to do that outburst, the anger, don't know how to express what's really going on the inside.
Yes.
So they express it through action, through behavior, through anger.
Wow. So sometimes when you see people and they just get mad, the least of good thing, because I know people like that, the least of good thing, they just get angry and just burst. That is a part of mental illness.
Right.
Mental illness come in very shape in different area of people's life.
Right.
It don't have to be that they going or shooting somebody, going or killing somebody, but mental illness come in. We'll be right back. We're keeping it real. Your host, Dr. Solomon, as we talk to Ms. Baker about mental health. Thank you. Welcome back to Keeping It Real with Dr. Solomon. I'm your host, and I'm here today with Ms. Baker, where we are talking to America about mental health. So oftentimes we have a loved one that are suffering with mental health. We do not know how to get help, where to find help. Ms. Baker, who is a registered nurse, is here to share with you how you can go about the signs that you need to look for. Ms. Baker, welcome back to Keeping It Real.
Thank you.
Before we go to break, we're talking about outbursts. I've known people sometimes just outburst, just get angry for everything, something trigger. So what you're saying to me, there is something going on the inside of them emotionally that they do not know how to express it. So what happened, they just come out with a just get mad
Correct.
and angry.
Correct.
So that anger build up in the inside of them, and leading to that anger could lead to destruction. Am I
Other
right?
things, that is correct.
Wow.
If we can gain an understanding, gain a perspective on, number one, what is mental health?
That's a good question. Yeah, I was going to go ahead and tell.
Because we all have mental health.
Yes.
Okay, but what sets one apart from the disorder to mental health well-being?
Wow.
So mental health, it includes our emotions, our psychological, and our social well-being. So it encompasses how we think, how we feel, how we act, the choices and decisions that we make. That comprises mental health. So when what takes us off course and it turns into a problem is when we encounter a trauma, a loss, a situation in which we were unable to adapt or cope, and then it morphs into another form of coping, anger, sadness. So mental health, if we can gain the understanding on what it is first, and then how we deviate from it to where it develops into a problem, then we can better understand how to manage it and deal.
It's so often. And one of the signs, too, I think that family need to look for, like you were saying, is withdrawal. Especially in our young people.
Yes.
When they come home, they don't want to interact with us. They don't want to talk. They always lock away in their room. There is something emotional going on the inside of them. So parents out there that are seeing these signs, what are the first things that they need to do as a parents?
Great question. I have a teenager. So my son is 14, and understanding the developmental stage of teenagers, they're in that stage of finding their identity. Okay, they're dealing with peer pressure. They're dealing with role confusion. Who are they to be among their peers? They're growing into themselves. So they're being bombarded with images on TV, music, how they are supposed to be. This is what's going to make them the person they want to become in the world. So I use my son, and I watch him.
Great example, yes.
I watch him and trying to remember how I was as a teenager. So I constantly keep me at the forefront. I was once there. So what did I do at his age? What was I thinking? So when I look at him, I watch him, I ask every day, how was your day in school?
Yes, you have to.
Did anything happen?
Yes.
Would you like to talk about it?
Wow.
And he has become more open. Yes, and sharing, because one, we have to learn not to be non-judgmental as parents.
Exactly.
Let your children speak from
they need a
their
voice.
experience.
And as parents, we got to listen.
Right.
As you were talking about, when my kids then were living home, I watch every move. I walk the house. I go in the bedroom, checking them.
Yes.
My kids, my two girls, when they were going to school, I walked them to the bus stop at the age of their last year in school. They would run, leave me, and I would go there in my duster, and they would hide, run. I said, "Good morning, kids. This is Siobhan and Bernard mom." And they don't want y'all to know, but I still walk them to the bus stop.
Right.
And it's so amazing that it's in my mind, because I think a couple of years ago I went to Atlanta to visit my daughter, and I was crossing in a mall, and I still hold her hand. She said, "Mom, let my hand go. I'm an adult." Because in my mind, my kids, even today, they all gone, grown. But as a mother love never die. You always. So that is so key, that parents have to have the communication with their child. Talk to their kids.
That's right.
Feel them out. What's going on?
That's right.
And another thing, and I saw how my children now growing their children, I was monitoring everything they watch.
Yes.
They never go over to nobody's home and spend the night.
Right.
And it was not about that I was just being protective.
Right.
I would never have my kids go out there and ride a bicycle by themselves. Like now I'm going to see kids ride it. No, and as a mother, it's instilling me. And I thank God, even now, the same way my children grow their kids. So that's so important that you use your son as an example.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And I do exactly what you say. I listen to the music. I show interest in things that he's interested in, so I can see where his mind is at, what attracts him to certain things, and I use that as an entryway to kind of, be on his level to try and gain his understanding.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents out there today, they don't even listen to their kids.
Right.
A lot of parents out there today, they left their kids alone.
Let them go.
The devil is a lie. Mine, when they were home, I still, and it's rules. There got to be rules. My kids will go to bed at 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock, you can't get a phone call. And these are important things that if we follow the trailer for our kids, many kids out there today, even that they're shooting up and killing, they were detective. But so many parents, they do not have the time to spend with their kids.
pay.
They're
That's
busy
right.
working,
Right.
busy, all about money. No.
Doing other things.
Doing the main is about the well-being of your child.
child.
And as a mother, even today, my kids are adult, and I'm still all up in the business. But most of all, I pray for my children
Right.
every day.
Right.
Every day. My son, he's a detective, and I know that's a very tedious job for him.
Yes.
I would call him, son, how was your day? Did you have a rough case today?
Yes.
Most of the time, he don't tell me about the rough one.
Right.
He would share it with his daddy. But I pray for him, and I wanted to know. And every day I say, God, cover him under the blood, because he
Yes.
going to some dangerous territory.
Territories,
As a
yes.
police officer, as a detective, their job are dangerous.
Right.
So even that said, a lot of police officers, they suffer mental health.
Yes.
You
that
know
PTSD has become
exactly.
More known now. That as a term that has a lot of people now are becoming affected from post-traumatic stress
Yes.
disorder.
Yes.
And if we pay attention to what it is, it's a delayed reaction to a trauma response.
Yes.
That's something you've
Ah.
either seen, experienced,
yes.
witnessed,
Yes, yes.
post-traumatic.
Yes,
And
yes.
then we deal with the after effects
It's
later.
it's so funny. While I was in nursing school back in the 80s, and when I was doing my internship, I went to the Miami Jackson Hospital. There was a young girl. There was a gunshot wound, and they cut his brain open, and she just, and they brought her back up, and she did it again. She can't take it. So eventually, they have to take her to class, and she failed the class because that was so dramatized for her to see somebody's brain open up to get out a gunshot. She couldn't stand it. So it is so important that we notice our children, we watch them, and this is why we have so many kids today that are committing crime.
Right.
It's not them, it is a spirit. We'll be right back. We're keeping it real with Dr. Solomon as we talk about mental health with Miss Baker and today. Welcome back to Keeping It with Dr. Solomon. I'm your host, and today, and I have Miss Baker here with me, who is an RN, we are talking about mental health. Miss Baker, before we go to commercial, we were talking about how it's important. What are some of the, also you were saying it was so important how we gotta, you were using your son as a prime example, and I was saying how important it is for parents to know this and see what goes on in their kids. What are some of the other things that, as a person that struggle with mental health, and I know you have some things you want to share with TV, where could they go for help? What do they need to do? Who they need to call? Are there help out there?
Yes, definitely.
Because another thing, a lot of people don't have insurance.
Right.
A lot of family who are suffering with that don't have money. Where could they go to get some free help? Or what are some of the resources out there?
Well, one resource is the National Council for Behavioral Health. They focus on nothing but mental health.
Wow.
They have a website, which is the National Council for Behavioral Health. They have 24/7 hotlines that one can call if they need immediate help. For instance, one who might be suicidal and they need to speak to a counselor immediately. They have that information as well. They have all sorts of resources throughout the 50 states where a person can go to seek help. And it spans from all financial spans. So for those who don't have finances, to those who do have insurance, there's all sorts of help out there. So there's really no excuse
Right.
for anybody not to seek the help.
Exactly, because I remember back those days when I was coming up, there was no help.
Right.
Nobody was talking about mental health.
Right.
That's why we have so many people. I was watching the news a couple of days ago, me and my husband, and there was a lady and in the Walmart store was just upraised, and she was cursing and carrying and telling them about God, and people were laughing, and they called the police and they arrest her. And I said to my husband, he said, she need help. They should have called, because she was doing it for about an hour.
Wow.
They should have called somebody right there.
Right.
Coming and putting her into an handcuff, not going to help the situation. You
Right.
could tell that lady is mentally disturbed, mentally challenged, and she need help. And everyone that would come over to her, she was so angry and so bitter, and she was just cursing and cursing. And then when the police come, everybody clapping. I'm like to my husband, no, that shouldn't be.
Right.
If anybody there that have the knowledge of mental, no, something is going on with this lady. She
Right.
just, but, and that's another thing. So I am glad today that we have so many help out there.
Yes.
Because back then, nobody talk about it. They put it
Right.
underneath the closet.
Right.
Oh, no. But it is happening. You find it, as you say, kids. And I believe even, I was sharing with my husband, even these kids that go and shoot a place and they're sick. Something troubling their mind. Not that it's right, but you got to understand, if these people don't have, their mind gone. They don't have any idea what they're doing. And many of them, they do things, but they don't remember, they don't recall, and it's nothing to them.
Right. Right.
And even the school. And it was so funny. I have a home international student here with me, and she told me that they're teaching that in school now.
Yes, they are.
I was so excited
Yes,
about
they
that,
are.
that they're teaching it in school. And she was like, she have to do a mental health class. Wow, that
Yes.
is amazing.
Yes.
It's
And
a-
glad you said that. In my son's school, he's in his last year of middle school, and they are doing quarterly mental health events
Wow.
to talk about mental health in the schools, especially with that age group, with the middle age kids before they transition to high school. That's where they are in that in-between stage of growing from a child. Now they're in the bridge stage before they become now a young adult. That's where a lot of the mental health is taking place. Because again, they're dealing with peer pressure. They're dealing with who are they to become as an adult. That's
Wow.
pressure for a young child.
Yes,
And
yes.
if their home life is not a safe environment in which they can grow, in which they can express themselves, talk it out, they're holding that stuff
Inside.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
looking to their peers for the answers. It's like the blind is leading the blind. So now they're left to their own devices
Right.
to live life, to figure this thing that
Think
we call
about it.
life out,
My God.
and they are not,
And so by saying that, they felt like no one cared.
Right.
So why do I care? I'm just going to go out there and get a gun and go into school. And a lot of time, if you notice, it's like a pattern.
right,
A school will get shoot up by somebody. Then you look a couple of days later,
another school.
then another school. So what happened, those children, young people that are sick, they saw that and said, okay, if they do this, I want to do this. And also they're looking for attention.
Thank you.
So
That's it all.
oftentimes,
Yes.
we as parents, and it's so important, go back to parents and your children, you got to love your children. You got to let them know you love them. Every time I talk to my kids, I never get off the phone and say, Mommy, love you.
Yeah.
Some kids today, they don't even hear that they love.
Right.
They don't hear the word love.
Right.
They don't get hugs.
Right.
It's so funny. My international student that are here, she liked to hug. And she liked to hug. And And so now I like to her, but she liked to hug. And that's good. And sometimes when parents, kids like to hug, parents push them aside.
Yeah.
You have parents that never hug their child.
Yeah.
You have parents that never tell a child, I love you. You have parents telling kids they're not going to amount to nothing.
Right.
So what happened all the years of their life, they hear, I hate you. I shouldn't have you. Oh, you're not going to be nothing.
Right.
So all the negativity, and if you notice, every one of these crises that we have in gun violence with kids is go back from their home.
It goes back to the home.
From their childhood.
That is correct.
Because they don't hear love, they don't get affection,
Right.
there is no family time. You eat in one room, I'm eating in another room, they're watching TV, they're on the phone. That is not a family life.
That's right.
The Bible says a family pray together, stay together.
Right.
When I was coming up with my children, I would never serve them dinner. This is how my mama taught us. I would never serve them dinner until my husband get home. We're going to eat as a family. And I remember many times when I was coming up as a child, my mama would cook. We'd be so hungry, me and my sister then would go and get in the pot while my mama in the bedroom and get some of the food and would cook. Mommy is waiting for daddy to come home.
Yeah.
This is how I was raised. And I instill that in my children. And even now, my children instill it in their children. The Bible said, train up the child in the way. When they get old, they may not depart from the truth. A lot of our kids, they don't get that at home as a child.
Right, right.
Only thing they hear is negativity.
Right.
Only thing they hear, this is why I don't want nobody around me that is negative.
Right.
And I never instill negative in my kids.
Right.
It's always, you could do all things through Christ that strengthens you. You got to go get that.
Yes.
Even my daughter today, she always said, thank God for my mama. I got the zeal and the drive, because don't tell me I can't do it.
Right.
Oh, at the age of 40, I bought me a car with no driver's license. And when I was getting ready to leave the car lot, the man said, well, Miss Simon, where's your license? I said, didn't I tell you? Didn't I? No, where's your insurance? I said, didn't I tell you? Didn't I have a license? So in everything that I do, I say I can. So my children get that drive from me.
They adopted that.
Yeah. Yes, and that is so important, especially these kids coming up. They need to see the love and the caring and that generous spirit in the home. So when you get that, it fall over and your children and your children. And even now, we got to so careful what we say and how we speak.
Absolutely.
Because our children, they adapt it and they will begin to talk the way they hear their parents. They begin to think. They begin to treat people the same way they see their mom and daddy treat one another.
Right.
They follow that pattern.
Right.
So it's time for us to break the cycle.
Break the
It's
cycle.
time for us to take back our youth.
Right.
It's time for us to show them love.
Right.
It's time for us to hug on them.
Right.
Let them know that they're special. Let them know that they're wonderful. Most of all, they're a child
Of God. That's right.
What?
That's right.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Keeping It with Dr. Sam. I'm your host, and we're here today with Ms. Baker talking about mental health. Okay, Ms. Baker, welcome back again.
Thank you.
I want you to tell TV Land, I know you have some important things that you want to share with TV Land, and you could just go ahead and share some of these important messages, because I believe it's so important that everybody, if you're watching, get a paper and a pen, so y'all going to get some great information. So go ahead.
Well, I wanted to speak from a perspective, what does the Bible say about mental health? Because we see it from the world's perspective, and the world has a way of portraying the negative, the crazy, or but if you look at it from of the biblical perspective, because we are created in God's image.
Yes.
So God does not make crazies. Let's just make that plain.
Exactly. Oh,
We are perfect in Him.
That's awesome. I like that.
So let's come from that perspective. What does the Bible say about mental health? And one, as a man thinks, our thoughts, so we become. So if mental health is comprised of our thoughts, how we think, how we feel, which then influences how we act, the Bible specifically says the way we think, we then act it out.
Yep.
So then if that's the case, the Bible also says that those same thoughts that goes against the word, we are to take them captive, if you will, put them under arrest and line it up to God's word. Does it match what God says, who we are, how we are to act? And if it doesn't, put it unto captivity, unto the obedience of Christ.
Wow.
So the word gives us a strategy
My God.
on how to tackle mental health.
Amen.
It starts with the thoughts.
Yes.
What are we thinking? Who are putting those negative thoughts, as you brought up? The kids in the home,
Yes,
the
yes.
things that are being deposited to them from their parents.
Yes.
They're not being told that they're loved, they're special, that they can do anything through Christ. So if those things are not deposited into them, then
Right.
who is?
Wow.
And the world is not, because the world goes against the word of God. So if they're leading on to the world and the world is feeding them negativity, look at the end result that we see today.
Wow, powerful. That is, you are so right. Because if these children here, God love you, I love you, but God love you better. If these children here, oh, you are beautiful, you could do all things through Christ
Right.
and strengthen you. You're going to grow up to be a lawyer, a doctor. These are the things they want to hear. But if they hear, you're no good, you're ugly, I wish I didn't have you.
Right.
You act just like your daddy.
Right.
Oh my God, that is so powerful.
Right.
That is so amazing what you brought out. So all that they hear, they instill it in them. It's go with them. It's go with them. And only thing they think negative. Who care? I don't care.
Right.
So I'm gonna go and do what I need to do.
Right.
And let me get some attention. I ain't getting the attention home. So I'm gonna go out there and get me a gun and shoot up a school. I'm gonna go there and get a gun. Come on.
And get the
it's
attention
like
that
a
way.
it's like a pattern. So every time one see one do it, they say, well, I could get away with it, so I'm going to do it. That is so important, Ms. Baker. 'Cause wow, that is powerful.
Yes, it is.
Wow,
Yes, it is.
wow.
I mean, and then the antidote is the word again. Be not conformed to the patterns of the world. Conformity is being molded and shaped. So the word says, don't conform to the patterns of the world, but be renewed, reset. How? By transforming your mind.
Yes.
Transformation is that irreversible change. Once you change, you can't go back.
Right, right.
Transform those thoughts, that mind. Why? So that we may know the good and perfect will that God has for
Right.
our lives.
Wow, wow, that is so powerful. And even if a child in the home, as you talk about transformation, and they, only thing they hear every day, cussing and carrying, but in that setting, if the parents would change, because the scripture says, my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray
Yes.
and turn.
From
So
their
oftentimes
wicked
when we
ways,
turn, we
yes.
go back to, but if they turn and begin to counsel their kids and begin to sit with them, begin to feast with them, begin to let all the negativity throw outside the window. My God Almighty, a lot of our kids today maybe would be in a better place.
Absolutely.
Wow, that
Wow.
is so powerful.
You know, family is where our story begins. The environment that we grow up in, those who are important to us, how do they model how I am to live life, how I am to think of myself, how I am to adapt to stressful situations. It all starts from the home, what's being modeled in the home.
Yes, I always say that it go back to your child where you raised. And for me, coming up as a child, I never get the chance to go to. The only thing I know about school and church. That's how I was raised.
Yeah.
And but one thing that I got in my home was love.
Yeah.
The Bible said, with love and kindness have you drawn thee. And though I raised up in the island of Jamaica with a mother that we didn't have much,
Yeah.
but it was love
Right.
that conquered everything.
Right. That covers all.
What? It was
Yes.
her love and the love that she gave us,
Yes.
even when she don't have it.
Right.
I never forget one night my mama say, I don't have nothing to give y'all kids, but her faith in God, and this is where I get my faith from today.
Yeah.
She put a pot of water on the stove when she was going to cook, and the water, she keep on pouring the water. It boiled, she keep on pouring it. It keep on pouring. And every time I think about this story, around 7:45 or so, or 9, there was a knock on the door. You see, back those days, those praying mother, There was 2 evangelists. They go in 2s back those days. Sister Philip, Evangelist Philip, the Lord showed me, you don't have any food for the kids. They bring some rice, some chicken, some breadfruit, some everything. See, so you see, and through my mother's faith, I live it.
Right.
It was my faith that when I walk up in the park in the car dealer place at the age of 40 and bought a car, didn't have no license, can't drive.
Wow.
Up until this day, I don't drive, y'all. Cause my husband drive me everywhere. But as you say what you say, it bring me back. You know, as a child, coming up as a child. So you're right. Everything that we inherit as a child, it was my mother's faith.
Yeah.
And every time I think about that story, when she put the food in the stove and didn't have no food to give us. But it was her faith, and she believed that somebody, before we go to bed,
That's right.
gonna come by with some food.
That's
Oh
right.
my God, this made me want to preach now.
That's right.
They're gonna come by to give us something.
Yes.
So through our faith, I live it as now as an adult, and in my kids I instill in faith.
Yes. Yes.
It's just like my daughter, my entrepreneur daughter, and you can't tell her she can't do nothing. She nonstop because of my faith that I taught them.
That's right.
That you're gonna go, that you're gonna stand, you're gonna believe, and you're gonna trust God. That I could do all things through Christ that strengthens. So if our children that are coming up today hear that story from the parents, though they are going through a rough season, a rough time, don't have no money, don't have no food, but you're faith in God and you encourage them. My mama didn't have much to give us, but I love,
Yes.
oh, I love unconditioned.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Today I give God the glory that it made me who I am.
Amen.
And because of who I am, I teach my children, and I could see that faith in them.
Right.
What?
The fruits.
The fruit.
Fruits of your labor.
Oh my God.
Yes, and speaking on that, when you brought up to train up a child in a way that they should go, it's the same is what I live by with my son. I deposit into him
Yes.
the fruits,
The positive fruit.
the positive.
There are a lot of
fruits,
food. There are bad food, but we're talking about the good one.
the positive.
Where you could
fruits.
look at your child and tell them you could do all things through Christ that strengthens
That's right.
you. Could look at your child and speak life into them. Say, you know what? You're going to be the next president of the United States.
That's right.
You're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be who God called you to be.
That's right.
But these kids, they don't hear that.
Right.
They don't hear it.
They don't hear and they
No.
don't see it.
No.
Because you got a model. Our kids, you know, they learn by seeing more so than they do by hearing.
Yes, exactly.
Because they want to see you walk the walk. If you don't walk the walk, why should they?
Exactly. So if you could do, I was watching something and I heard a parent told the child, she said, you wear your pants baggy. He said, Mom, you wear your pants done baggy too. So what are you telling me I can't
See?
wear? So
Right.
whatever a child see,
They mimic. It's like the monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly. I have a grandbaby now that is 1.5 years. She pick up everything. Her
Right.
grandfather, my husband, teach her so much. She pick it up. She could say cup, spoon, baba. I'm like, wow.
Right,
Because we're instilling her the good fruits.
right.
She's eating out for the good fruits. So I was saying to my husband, even in the radio, in the car, I be careful what kind of music you have on the radio.
Right.
Oh, sometimes my husband would turn on the radio serious, and I said, oh no, take that off. You have to.
Right.
And even with my grandkids in the car with us, the same thing I said, because they listen and they learn. We'll be right back. Keeping it real with Dr. Hey, Facebook friends and family, this is your girl, Dr. Salmon, coming to you here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Listen, my play, The Double Twisted Life of Reverend and First Lady Lee, will be coming up on April the 26th at Wekiva High School. Again, April the 26th at Wekiva High School. You don't want to miss it. And this is part 2, where Pastor Lee go in Sabata. Yes, I said it. Pastor Lee go in Sabata. One thing I want to say, and I always say this, I'm not here to bash any pastor, because pastor make mistakes. But this play will bring healing, restoration to you. If you're looking for a family outing, mama, grandmama, sister, brother, children, this play is for you. Bring everyone coming out on the 26th of April at Wekiva High School. Your legend, Oliver Samuel, all the way from Jamaica, a playwright himself, will be playing, featuring in this play. You could go to www.showtime.com show to eventbrite.net to get your tickets. Or you could call Mr. Simon at 475920630, or you could go to all the Jamaican outlet in Orlando and purchase your ticket. Early bird ticket is $30. The early bird ticket will end the first week in March. You don't want to miss the early bird ticket, and the VIP ticket is $45. I want you to go and get your ticket today. I want to see you in the place. Welcome back to Keeping It Real with Dr. Summer. My host, special guest on today is Miss Baker. And by the way, TV Land, I want to let you know my co-host Mark is not here with me. But Mark, let me tell you, I got it going on, honey. But anyway, Miss Baker, we were talking earlier the good food that we feed our kids. And before the end of this segment, we're going to ask you to look in the camera and tell people where they could go for some information, if you have some name, phone number, where they could reach you. Do you do private one-on-one session? Because it's so important sometimes that when people are having crises, they could call to get someone just to come in to do a one-on-one with them,
Yes.
to talk about it. Because sometimes a lot of kids, they don't want to talk to their own parents,
Yes.
but they were comfortable talking to someone outside.
Right.
They feel so much, and I could say the reason why, because you're never there for the child.
Right.
You're always gone, you're always traveling, you don't talk to the child. So now the child is going through, they rather say, because I know somebody who have a child with mental health, and he would talk to me, and I would listen.
Yeah.
I would sit there, and of course my daughter have a group home with mental challenge adults, and they love me. When I see them, I just pour into them. There was a young man there, he got into some trouble, and he was telling me about it. And he said he want to play music, he want to do, and I encourage him.
Yeah.
We got to empower those
Right.
kids that suffering with mental health.
Right.
We got to let them know. And I said to him, I said, he said he want to get in the studio. I said, you know what? Okay, I will pay for you to get in the studio. What you want to sing? He said he love to rap. So I say, I will do it for you.
Okay.
You know, we got to love them.
Right.
And we don't understand.
support them.
Support them. And when we love them and support, my God, they could turn.
Right.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
It would be a different, because of course, even with my daughter mental, with her home, this is their home. Because of course, their mom and dad not around. And this is why my daughter today, she makes sure those kids looking good, dressing good. As a matter of fact, my daughter bought a new group home. And when she first had a mental challenge kids, she brought them up there to cut the ribbon with them. They came to my rehearsal with my leading man, Derek Isham, who played Pastor Lee. They sit down and I talk with them, I reason with them. And I said, what y'all want for lunch? I said, the one said they want tuna, some said they want turkey. I said, let me see the hands up those want turkey. Let me see, you gotta love in them.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
feed with them, and as their energy, just loving them.
Right.
So I want you to look in the camera, Ms. Baker, and tell TV Land, where could they get some help? How could they reach you? Are you available for one-on-one research, like coming in the home and giving them one-on-one talk? So you could.
Okay, so I do have a ministry business, which is Roots of Life Christian Counsel Ministries. It is biblically based, the counsel. It is free pastoral counseling services for adolescents from the age of 13 to 17, and of course to adults. I treat depression and anxiety. It is an evidence-based Christian counseling program. It is a 6-week counseling program. And again, it addresses things accompanied with depression, sadness, anger, the anxiety, that excessive worry about things, anything in life. If you've dealt with a loss, such as a loss of a loved one, loss of employment, loss of finances, any type of loss can produce depression and anxiety. So I have a website in which you can gain more information, which is at www.roots, R-O-O-T-S, life, L-I-F-E, ccm.com. You will be able to find what the purpose, the mission, the vision, my strategy of counseling. There are even some informational videos on various topics of mental health that you can view for your own edification. And then there is a pastoral counsel request that you can submit, if not for yourself, or someone who you think may benefit from receiving counsel. It is available one-on-one, and it is by video conference.
Wow.
So if you're not physically able to be present, we can do it by video. With technology these days, that is the best way to reach the masses.
Wow.
And in the comforts of your home, we can do the video conversation, and it's a 50-minute session.
Wow.
So even if you just need to talk about, you may not even be dealing with depression per se. It can just be these feelings of sadness, or you can't put a finger on it, or you don't have anyone to talk to. It is non-judgmental. I am here to give you an empathetic ear, to listen to your concerns,
Yes.
to help you figure out your thoughts, your feelings, what's the source, i.e. roots. That's the title of the ministry, is to get down to the source of why do you feel the way that you feel.
Wow.
What is going on? What is producing these thoughts, these feelings, and then tackle it with the word. What does the word say? Because the Bible has the answer.
Amen. Yes.
It truly has the answer. And I'm a big proponent of the church speaking more on mental health. The reason why I became a pastoral counselor and not so much of a secular counselor, because they focus more on the humanistic side of problems.
Amen.
But they don't direct you towards God
Wow.
as the answer and the source.
Wow. I heard you said it's free.
It's free.
Where's the number that they could reach you? What?
Well, again, it's all through my website.
Website,
It's
okay.
all through the website.
Okay.
You go through the counsel request. And that's because God said, don't charge nobody who is seeking help for their mental stability.
Wow, that is awesome.
Because that seems to be a barrier why some people will not go to see a counselor. It's because they're
it's
concerned about money.
Money. Wow.
Money. So the barrier is removed.
Wow.
Again, help is out there.
Yes.
So there's no excuse not to
Wow.
seek help.
This is so amazing. You're right. The reason why a lot of people, they would love to go, because that's what I heard all the time. I don't have the money. I can't go.
Right.
Who's going to pay for it?
Right.
So this was a vision that God gave you that you come up with just,
Right.
wow.
Right. And it was birthed last year, January 2019.
Wow.
So this is a stepping out on faith,
Girl.
being put in this position because, again, mental health has risen
It
to
is.
the scene.
Yes.
But although it's already been there,
Yes, it's
but
been
now
there.
it's becoming more
Yes.
prominent. So it's time now to tackle and
is.
to break those
Yes,
strongholds.
yes, it is time. It's about time. We long overdue for that.
Absolutely.
Because as I said, even in the island, when you see people walking, they call it mad, they're talking to themselves. I believe back then if people have known about it, maybe we could have saved a lot of people. But I thank God that now,
Absolutely.
I thank God for you, Ms. Baker, that now even God gave you the vision and the revelation to be a blessing. Because the Bible says better than to give than to receive. And this is your time that you're giving free.
Yes.
God is so awesome.
Yes, He
He's
is.
so awesome.
Yes, He is.
And it's such amazing how, I know you're supposed to be in my show for a long time, but I believe nothing happened before the right time.
Absolutely.
And it's just awesome that I have you here with me. And I said, and this is not the last. I'm going to have you back.
I'm humbled and grateful.
And I'm hoping that you will, because even in Jamaica and the Bahamas where I have my ministry, there's something that I try to do the best and talk to people about as a nurse, but which the basic, maybe one time you could fly to me to the island.
Okay, to God be the glory.
Yes,
Okay.
and go over there because people are suffering over in the islands and they don't have no one to share and to talk to.
Right.
Again, I want to thank you so much, Ms. Baker, for being with me today and just sharing your heart and your passion and to let people know that there's help out there
Yes.
for mental health. And again, TV Land, Thank you so much for tuning in. And listen, I hope you got Ms. Baker information. And if you have someone out there that are suffering with mental health and you didn't get her information right before she's going to say it again, but you could inbox me or you could call me. I put my number out there, 321-438-9845, and I will get in touch with Ms. Baker for you. It is a blessing that now this is a woman of God, a woman of purpose, a woman of destiny that we have connected with today to talk about mental health. Let you know she'll come to you way by video, free. It's free, y'all, free.
Free.
Thank you again, TV Land. Thank you so much, Ms. Baker.
You're
One more
welcome.
time before you close, just give them your website information again.
It's www.rootsoflifeccm.com.
Again, thank you so much for tuning in today with your girl, Dr. Solomon.
Story